I don't know. I don't think that Will Ferrell's like a awful human being or anything like that. I don't think that's what you're saying too. Oh, yes, you shrug your shoulder and drink your drink.
We don't know. Well, we made it to episode 40 of History of Popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode. If you don't know what History of Popcorn is, we're basically your secret public movie club, and we are your hosts. I'm Elijah.
I'm Justin.
And I realized that we don't introduce ourselves that often in episodes. I always forget. I forget to do the proper introductions of everything. So yeah, that is Justin, and I am Elijah, and we are your hosts. And if you've just stumbled across us, cool. We are going to jump into movie news. I think that's all we're talking about this week. It's movie news. Nothing special, no games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got some sad news to start this off with, Justin.
No.
Yeah, we've talked about breakups on this podcast before. And I think our last one was the Coen brothers recently broke up. They are no longer making movies together. That was alarming to me. But I believe it's Ethan Coen who's still making movies.
Yeah.
But this one is a little bit more heartbreaking than I thought. I didn't realize that there was an actual breakup, but it came out. One of the sides came out and said, yeah, we're done working together for now. But this was Will Ferrell and Adam McKay. Justin, do you want to break down what they're known for? Why we love them so much?
Oh, of course. They met each other on SNL. So when Will Ferrell was like the OG on SNL, most of the golden sketches that they would do with each other, or what that Will Ferrell would do, was written by Adam McKay. And they went on to do Anchorman, Talladega Nights, Step Brothers, The Other Guys. And then Adam McKay kind of stepped out of doing the silly stuff, and he went to The Big Short, which was still funny, still very, very funny, but pretty serious, because it was deals with a very, very serious house marketing crisis that ruined a lot of people in America. And then he did Vice, which is about like a horrible person who is Dick Cheney. Sorry for, I don't want to get too political, but like just an awful person. And yeah, and then now he's doing Don't Look Up, which we're gonna see very, very soon.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so like they just like kind of like veered in two different directions. So when you looked at it, like from my perspective, it was kind of like, oh, it's heartbreaking, but you can see it because Adam McKay is getting nominated for Oscars and shit, and Will Ferrell's making Holmes and Watson. So you're just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, totally.
I mean, so did John C. Reilly, and that's a big part of their breakup, actually, is John C. Reilly.
Exactly. And that, like, the latest thing is like the most like surprising thing about it was that Adam McKay was the one that was like most heartbroken about it, and Will Ferrell was the one that was like kind of like, well, fuck you, dude. Even though, like, if you look at the careers, like how they're going, you would think it would be the other way around, that like Will Ferrell was like, oh, let's keep doing these stupid, dummy things. But in the end, like Will Ferrell didn't know what they were producing at all. Like Adam McKay was like mainly doing it.
Basically, yeah. And with like this was like they finally like put the final nail in the coffin with this last thing that Adam McKay is coming out with. It's the new basketball TV show that he's coming out with on HBO called
The Lakers.
Yeah, about the Lakers. It's one that I'm actually really looking forward to. I think we talked about before, but it's called Winning Time: The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. And essentially this was going to be the big collaboration that brought Will Ferrell and Adam McKay back together. And that was going to be established because he was going to play the main role, who's played by John C. Reilly now. And that's why Will Ferrell is super upset about it, because Adam McKay didn't address it to Will Ferrell before giving the role to John C. Reilly already. And so that was like where Will Ferrell was like, okay, well, obviously, well, there's nothing officially publicly said or statements about that from Will Ferrell about that. But basically he was like, yeah, they're going in different directions, like you said. So Sanchez Productions, the production company that they were together with for 13 years, are basically split up between them now. And they kind of already were for the last few years, as you said, but
which is just like, oh man, I can't believe that, because they did a lot of things like what I thought were together that was really funny, like Barb and Star, Good Vista Damar, and
I mean, their names are on it, but they don't work together really anymore,
which is just heartbreaking. It's honestly like kind of like, fuck, dude. Like I didn't know it was like that deep.
Yeah, this was like, because this is like the newest thing that just got like it's coming out now pretty soon. They just came out with the trailer, and it looks really good. And it looks like, I mean, John C. Reilly's incredibly talented, so it's good casting, and it would be interesting to see what Will Ferrell would have been like to play this character. I believe his name's Jerry Buss. And Will Ferrell was originally attached, but yeah, he went with someone else. And Adam McKay actually came out with a statement about this. He said, the last 13 years could not have been more enjoyable and satisfying for the two of us at Sanchez Productions. We give massive thanks to our incredible staff and executives and all the writers, directors, and actors we worked with through the years. The two of us will always work together creatively and always be friends. And we recognize we are lucky as hell to end this venture as such. So he says, end the venture. And then he also had this to say about how he cast John C. Reilly without talking to Will Ferrell first. He said, I fucked up on how I handled that. It's the old thing of keep your side of the street clean. I should have just done everything by the book. In my head, I was like, we'll let all of this blow over. 6 months to a year, we'll sit down and we'll laugh about it and go, it's all business junk. Who gives a shit? We worked together for 25 years. Are we really going to let this go away? But he took it as a way deeper hurt than I had ever imagined. And I tried to reach out to him, and I reminded him of some of the slights that were thrown my way that were never apologized for. So he's kind of airing out the dirty laundry a little bit in public to kind of be like, he did some stuff too, basically. Like, Will Ferrell's not as good as you think he is. I don't think he's saying.
No, I don't think he's saying that.
That's what I'm getting from it. There's some slights thrown my way that he never apologized for.
Yeah, no, he definitely did. He definitely did like bring up something like that. But I think it's like more like there are like things that like I don't know. I don't think that Will Ferrell's like a awful human being or anything like that. I don't think that's what you're saying too. Oh, yes, you shrug your shoulder and drink your drink.
We don't know.
I because then he said like that he knows that he fucked up by even just saying stuff like that. Like he can't just like, but he's not the bigger face. I mean, like he's like a big face now with the Oscars and stuff. But he's not like the face like Will Ferrell is. Like of course Will Ferrell's not going to go up and say shit like that. Like, yeah. Oh yeah, like he has shit that he has to apologize for too. Will Ferrell's not going to do that. People know Will Ferrell's name and they know him.
Yeah, he doesn't need to go anywhere really.
But the thing is, that's really like kind of cool though. Is that like even though like it kind of sucks that those two broke up, at least it led to him doing The Shrink Next Door.
Yeah, maybe that's why Will Ferrell went the direction he did. He wanted to do more serious stuff. I mean, he was going to with Adam McKay. It's just he didn't end up doing it with Adam McKay. I kind of get it. Like, I don't know anything about sports. You know this. But once I saw the trailer for that show, just looking at John C. Reilly immediately, it's like, well, yeah, he's a better performer than Will Ferrell is. Will Ferrell is he even in The Shrink Next Door, which I've watched 7 of the 8 episodes. I'm still waiting on that last episode. I haven't started yet. I'm gonna binge it, but yeah.
I don't know, I'm still waiting, but like even then, like his performance is like, yeah, no, it's definitely better than what we've gotten. But you know, like he's you know, he's very limited. So I can see why they wanted to go a different direction. And you know, so I don't know. That's all I'll really like. I just think that's
I see why they went with John C. Reilly too. If you see the trailer in it, it looks really good though. So that's sad. but I don't think it's forever. I don't think it's forever.
I don't think so too. I don't think so too.
Let me ask you
really
this. When we get the big Adam McKay, Will Ferrell reunion, would you rather have it? What project would you want it to be for? An original or a legacy sequel type?
An original, 100%.
You don't want to see Step Brothers 2?
Hell no. I want them to do something like the other guys. The other guys was fantastic. The other guys like showed what became of Adam McKay, you know, like it's talking about a lot of stuff that's going on the stock market and
there's a lot of layers to the
layers, but it still is very, very funny though, and it's still doing that Will Ferrell stuff. But even his performance in that though too is like it's not like the other movies, and the fact that the last movie they did with each other was Anchorman 2 kind of breaks my heart because that movie fucking sucks, man. I hate that movie.
That was a weird movie. That's like a fever dream of a movie.
It is. It's still like of course I laughed a few, like most of the time, but it's not good. It's not like how I laughed like with the first Anchorman.
Mm-hmm. It's less memorable laughs. It's just like, oh, okay.
Yes.
They're empty laughs. Let's see.
That's a perfect way of saying it. Yeah.
We're getting another musical, and this one's a classic, but there's a new spin on this one. I don't know how many movie versions of this there are, but I'm assuming there are a lot. I've only seen one, and that's the Phantom of the Opera. We are getting another Phantom of the Opera movie. This one is from John Legend. It's gonna be titled Phantom. That's all it's gonna be called. It's from Universal. It's gonna take place, I believe, in the French quarters of New Orleans instead of Paris.
Oh, so it's gonna be kind of like a modern day,
probably a little more modern. I feel like it's not gonna be like modern, but probably closer to our era.
Yeah.
You know, there might be cars, who knows? But I don't know if he's gonna be in it. I don't know. I mean, I could kind of see John Legend play the Phantom, but also I feel like it's too Broadway-y for like NBC now that he's been on already like a couple Broadway shows on NBC. I don't know about how this is going to go. And I don't know who they could cast. But we're getting another rendition of this. The original one that I saw was the one with Gerard Butler, which I did not know that was Gerard Butler for a long time. I didn't make that correlation or connection for a long, long time. Did you ever see that one?
I did, and I had the opposite reaction. I knew that was Gerard Butler, but when I watched it, I did not realize that was the girl from Shameless, Emily Rossum.
yeah.
Razom.
Emmy Rossum.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no, I had no idea that was her. And then I watched a review from the Nostalgia Critic. And then as I was watching, I was like, oh.
I love Emmy Rossum.
She was in A Futile and Stupid Gesture. I love her. But
I think she needs to do something pretty mainstream. Like she should do like a Marvel movie or something. She was almost She-Hulk, I think. But she's not now. Yeah, she was in the running for She-Hulk, I believe.
Interesting. No, it could be very interesting for them to adapt. Just do an adaptation of Phantom of the Opera. Don't do like a full-on remake. If they're going to do something like that, it needs to be like more of an adaptation and not trying to recreate all the songs and stuff. Because the songs, they're going to try to go modern day. I don't know how the fuck they're going to do that. Especially with John Legend. Are they going to try to like make it more hip-hop? Because that's fucking weird. Already just the concept of that.
I mean, it seems like they could go more of a classic like New Orleans sound, which I think would be cool.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you hear like the Phantom of the Opera songs, like, I don't know, man. I really don't know. It could be interesting though. I will say that it could be very, very interesting. And if they really do make it work, then I'll be the first person to be like, this works. As of now, I think it's weird.
Let's see. I have a question for you before this next story. Would you rather do, well, I guess I'll just say what the story is and then I'll ask you the question. But Patty Jenkins, if you don't know that name, she did Wonder Woman 1 and 2. What else did she do?
Yeah, I'm not sure what else she did.
Was announced to do a Star Wars movie called Rogue Squadron or something, and that got canceled. And then she was announced to do Wonder Woman 3, and then she was also announced to do Cleopatra with Gal Gadot also attached to that. And it was supposed to be this big epic movie, Cleopatra was. But she decided to leave the project of Cleopatra for Star Wars and Wonder Woman. So she's doing the Star Wars Rogue Squadron movie instead of Cleopatra, because she's like, well, if you're going to can it, I want to keep doing that. And they handed the Cleopatra movie to a different director, the one who did the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. Her name is Kyrie Skoglund. So that the Cleopatra movie is still moving forward. Hopefully it's going to be a big movie. It's I think Angelina Jolie was attached at one point to this one. This is the one that's been in production for like a long time. And I was going to ask you, if you had the chance to write and direct a movie to that caliber, I'm assuming all three of these movies are going to have very similar budgets. Maybe Wonder Woman is going to have a little less, but because it's Star Wars. But would you want to do a huge epic like Cleopatra, a Star Wars original movie, or a superhero sequel that you love?
Superhero sequel that I love.
Okay.
Yeah. The other two.
You can pick one more then.
I mean, like if I was her,
you get the Patty. Yeah, you get the Patty Jenkins package.
I would do something more original.
2 of the 3.
I do have to say really quick, and I really just looked this up because I knew she directed one other thing, and it was Monster with Charlize Theron.
Okay, I never saw that. So she's got that.
Christina Ricci. Never knew that. Honestly, I did not know that until now. I thought Wonder Woman was her first movie.
There's some fan who's been like, "How do you not know that? Monster's a big movie.
Yeah,
like that's a big deal."
That's why
that was a big. That's Charlize, right? Or who was that?
Yeah, Charlize Theron. That was the one that won.
Nominated?
No, she didn't win the Oscar. Yeah, I don't know if she won or if she. Yeah.
So
but anyways, no, I would definitely go for the directing the.
So you would drop Star Wars. You would do a passion.
I would drop. Oh, dude, no,
and
dude,
then
Star Wars
epic.
You know, yeah. No,
that's an original Star Wars story. It's an original Star Wars story.
No,
you can do it. You can do it right with the lightsabers.
No, I wouldn't do that, dude. No, I would not.
Then who is your epic story? Who's your Cleopatra?
No, if I was if they gave me like an epic or to do a sequel, if I was doing an epic, I would it still wouldn't be an epic. I would do something like I would want to remake Man on the Moon. I would want to do like something on Andy Kaufman that actually is
Cleopatra's a biopic. Cleopatra was a person.
Yeah, but that's an
epic biopic.
Yeah, that's an epic. I would never. If you look at me, I'm wearing a Memphis right now. I would not.
With no connection to Memphis except for the person.
Exactly. I should not be touching.
That's true friendship.
Epics. Thank you. Shout to Briss. I don't know what I would if someone wanted to give me any property that actually happened in real life, I would want it to be somebody that I actually know. And I always just think about Andy Kaufman. That would be the person
that I would. Andy Kaufman adaptation.
That would be the thing. I know way too much about that guy.
I'd be insane.
But I would over those 3 choices.
Same budget though. I would need a Star Wars budget to tell this Andy Kaufman story.
Oh goodness, no!
It's just huge.
That would kind of be awesome though. It's all CGI character. It's like a Robert Zemeckis Polar Express.
Okay, just super super. I don't know. You're doing some Avatar technology.
We get Jim Carrey back too. He's giving me half the budget right there.
He doesn't act in the movie. We just hire him to play Andy Kaufman on set. We're not going to film any part of him. He's just there.
Yeah, we even get Milos Forman again just to be there, just to hire him just to be there. This was the last movie that he did. Oh wait, no, I think he died now. I can't think of it. we'll think about it later.
That's all I wanted to say about Patty Jenkins is like she gets to decide. That must have been not the easiest decision, but she must have really wanted to tell that Star Wars story, I guess.
I would, honestly, if I were her, I would go with just do something like Monster again. It's just we saw what happened with Wonder Woman 1984, and there was not a lot of.
There's probably a calling to her that she wants to redeem that too. So that's probably Wonder Woman was never off the table though. So that was
no, and
there's always Star Wars and Cleopatra that she had to choose between.
And if I had to choose between those three options for her, it would be the Cleopatra route to just do something different.
She should have stuck with Cleopatra and Wonder Woman, I think, because she would have stuck with Gal Gadot. She knows how to work with Gal Gadot, apparently, according to Wonder Woman.
I mean,
they work together.
We don't have to go that far.
But yes. I would have done that just because it seemed like it would work with, I don't know. It would seem like it would have worked, but I'm not her. If you had the chance to direct a big epic, a Star Wars movie or a hero that you love, and you said it, you would drop the Star Wars movie. Interesting choice. It's an original Star Wars though. It's not like a sequel. You get to just do whatever. I don't know. It's very interesting. You could be that one Star Wars movie that everyone loved and be like, this is what saved Star Wars. You can save Star Wars.
But it's so oversaturated now.
The main thing. Well, that's what I guess. Yeah, we need another Rogue One. I think they're trying to do another Rogue One. Yeah, it's called Rogue Squadron or something. So
yeah.
Probably just gonna do that another where they all die. Spoiler alert. Sorry. Let's move on though. Yes, Patty Jenkins is making a lot of big movies. So Tom Holland is making the rounds. Not just because of his Spider-Man movie this week, which is a big deal, but he just casually dropped this news during a press conference. He said that Sony gave him a script and that he is officially going to play Fred Astaire in a biopic. If you don't know who Fred Astaire is, you probably heard the name. He was a dancer from like a long time ago, and he's an iconic, choreographer in that era. If he wasn't in the movies, he was probably helped choreographing because this guy acted in so many movies that I feel like most households know his name, but Tom Holland is playing this character, but this guy. And he just dropped the news out saying that I guess I'm going to have to, dust off the old tap shoes and go back to the Pineapple Dance Studios because he said that I'm playing Fred. He just said that I'm playing Fred Astaire randomly and that he's had good meetings about it. And I think this was interesting because a couple weeks ago, I found out that another company is making a Fred Astaire movie with Jamie Bell. Have you heard that name?
Oh, yeah. Jamie Bell.
Yeah. There's a connection between these two actors. They're both playing Fred Astaire, but they also both played Billy Elliot. Jamie Bell played it in the movie, and Tom Holland was found playing Billy Elliot in, I believe, in London or something, or in some show, and he got found that way. So they both have musical experience in that way. And I don't know which one's going to be. They're both very different in age, so they're probably telling different eras.
They look so much alike though.
They do look very similar, so that's good casting. Yeah. But they're definitely going to be different generations. The difference is though with the Jamie Bell project is that it's a biopic about Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, who were in more than 10 movies together around that time. And they were like one of the most iconic dance partners of that era. And they have Ginger Rogers being played by Margaret Qualley, who is in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She played.
That's what I was just gonna. I thought that's who we're talking about.
One of the girls who was with Brad Pitt. And then what else is she in? She's in a few other movies, but she's playing Ginger Rogers, and it's about the love story between Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers.
Yeah, no, I would say more. I would be more curious and excited about the Tom Holland one more than Jamie Bell, even though those two look very alike. And just looking at Fred Astaire, like all of them kind of hit the look factor. But just if you watch the show is terrible, but if you watch Lip Sync Battle,
Oh yeah,
and the Tom Holland one where he's doing an Umbrella, but he's
does.
also
Yeah,
doing he does Singing in the Rain, then Umbrella. You can just see
yeah,
right there. It's like, oh, dude, this guy's got it.
yeah.
He's
That's
got it
probably a
going.
good reference for a producer to be like, yeah, this guy
Oh,
can move.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, it's not, of course, because it's like lip sync, but so like you can't hear the singing, but like
You
the
can
boy's got the
dance.
moves.
Yeah, that's all he needed.
And he ran with it. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So I would be more curious about that one more than the Jamie Bell one. But like looking at Jamie Bell and Tom Holland,
Mhm.
those two, like they have similar features. It's kind of creepy. Like honestly, like if they ever wanted to do a movie where Tom Holland was like the teenage version of him, like if they like did a movie where like that could work. That could work.
I could see that too. I like the
Yeah.
casting of both. So the Tom Holland one is with Sony Pictures because Tom's got a really good deal with Sony. It seems like he's in that Uncharted movie, which is Sony's, the Spider-Man, and probably a few other things that I'm not aware of off the top of my head. But Jamie
I
Bell,
hope that.
yeah,
Oh no, keep going, keep going.
Jamie Bell's Fred Astaire movie is Amazon Studios. So we'll see which one. They both have a lot of money behind them, so they're both going to be very interesting. I wonder why. I don't know how this happens. But I think it's just the industry. Like they just shop around a script, and then like they pass on one script because it's expensive or something, and maybe they find a cheaper script about it because maybe Sony saw this Amazon script and was like pass, and then like made their own and gave it to Tom Holland. I don't know how it works, but there's always like a
Sony's fucking
competing
weird too.
movie or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, Sony's super weird too, though. Like they've made a lot of questionable decisions, and I cannot wait to see the new Spider-Man movie because, like, when I saw the first trailer, I was like, okay, like this could be cool. But the more and more I'm seeing them promote it, it seems like it just like you can see Sony's like fingers. So I can't wait to see it because like as of
have
now,
you gotten tickets yet or anything?
Nope. I'm just gonna go straight to it. I live in a small town, so I feel like I can get in.
I got the first showings on Thursday, so at 3 p.m. So I'm gonna see as soon as I can.
I have a show on Thursday, but I'm probably gonna see it on the weekend because I'm just curious because the last few things that I've seen of the promotion for that movie, it just seems like Sony's gonna fuck this up yet again. I'm like, I don't know.
I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous, but yeah, that's all happening this week. It's all happening.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Especially how hard that they're like promoting the villains, and it just seems
speaking of two actors, one role, Spider-Man and Fred Astaire. That's my connection to that.
No. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I like hearing about competing. I can't say that. I like hearing about two movies about the same thing competing. But I have one more story for us. We have not talked about this story. We've talked about this person, but this is the last story that I didn't tell you about yet. I said we have one story to end. And this one is Nick Cage. We have a Nick Cage movie that we were talking about because this was very interesting. He's playing an iconic role, a very, very iconic role. He's playing Dracula. Have you heard about this?
I have not. Wait, what?
Yes, he's playing Count Dracula. And it's not a movie about Dracula, though. It's a comedy called Renfield, who's the henchman of Dracula, I believe. And he's being played by Nicolas Holt. Renfield is. And so it's Nicolas Cage and
Nicolas Holt.
Yeah, Nicolas Holt.
That's
and
awesome.
It's described as a modern day adventure story based primarily on the character Renfield. He was conceived as a human patient in a mental asylum who believes eating living creatures will grant him their life force, a trait Dracula manipulates to get Renfield to do his bidding. And various depictions of Renfield have been featured in different Dracula adaptations, typically as a bumbling sidekick. I wonder how they're going to portray him. So it's a comedy with Nicholas Hoult.
Oh, Nicholas Hoult and Nicolas Cage.
That's pretty cool.
That sounds kind of awesome.
Like it was on the back burner for the stories to tell. And once Nicolas Cage joined this cast, I was on board.
You knew
this is going to be interesting. It comes from Chris McKay, the guy who directed the Tomorrow War. Remember that was his directorial debut for live action. But that could spoil it a little bit. But he also did the Lego Batman movie.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
So he just recently made that jump to live action with the Tomorrow War. So he's gonna try to jump all over the place and try to find his actual voice with live action. It seems like with this.
No, that can work more than like the Tomorrow War wasn't bad. Like it wasn't like it was past. Like if you literally just asked me about like anything that happened in the movie, I would not remember.
90s nostalgia fever dream.
Yeah. Like I said in my Instagram review, Schwarzenegger or Chris Pratt needs to give Schwarzenegger's shoes back. But no,
that has layers to it if you know his love life.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. I really appreciated that one. No, but I really did like the Lego Batman movie. But also with that movie as well, if you ask me anything that happened in it, I don't know. Like I can't remember. I just remember liking it a lot. Like especially like comparing like that and the Tomorrow War. I remember liking Lego Batman movie a lot more than the Tomorrow War. But that sounds like a funny concept though. Just automatically you saying Nicolas Cage is playing Dracula just makes me have a smile on my face.
How is he going to do it? I don't know how he's going to do it. But they also have the writers. Do it the
Nick Cage. Oh, okay. Here we go.
What does that mean though? What is the Nick Cage way? There's no specific way.
That's why it's so good. That's why he is like amazing, because it's a Nick Cage way. You don't know what he's going to do, but obviously it's going to be a Nicolas Cage type of thing to happen. But please, for the love of God, tell me the writers. Because I'm very curious.
Are you familiar with Rick and Morty?
Yes.
Ryan, one of the writers from Rick and Morty, his name is Ryan Ridley, is doing the script with the story based on our story by Robert Kirkman, who did The Walking Dead. And he's also did another one with Amazon called Invincible, which is incredible. You should start Invincible. His writing is good. His stories are good. He's just, The Walking Dead itself went downhill and became very soap opera-y. So don't base his writing off that. But the actual,
you saw my face. You saw my face immediately.
Because The Walking Dead, that's just like the main credit that he's known for. That took off, but he basically, like, if you don't like Game of Thrones either, it's basically the same thing. Like the source material is incredible. They just take their own liberties with the TV show that make it go downhill. And Robert Kirkman though is a very good writer, so I am excited, and he's came up with the story for this. So I'm excited for it.
All right.
It could go well.
Oh, I see that Aquafina is also in the cast.
Oh, really? I do not have that on my page. Good thing you looked it up too. That's hot and juicy.
Just something that I found on the good old IMDb's.
Good old IMDb.
Dude, listen, I have this one this one regular that comes to my place, and he hates me because of how much I love Nicolas Cage.
He's jealous.
And that night, AMC decided to do a Rage Cage marathon. So we got Con Air, we got Face Off.
Hell yeah, Con Air.
We got all these Nicolas Cage movies.
Never seen Face Off yet.
Oh, Face Off is great. But no, we got all these Nicolas Cage movies, and this guy was like hating it, and I was just sitting there just being like, haha, you want another beer?
That's awesome.
You're stuck with me, baby. You're stuck with me and Nicolas Cage, your two worst enemies.
We should have like a month of just Rage Cage month. When's his
No,
birth month?
like I said, I want to do that. I want to do a podcast called.
This was almost an entirely podcast. Yes, this podcast was almost entirely.
Put the bunny back in the box.
It was very close. Back in the box. Yeah. We had discussions before History of Popcorn was made. We were almost put the bunny back in the box.
Yeah, that's what it was called.
And it would have been a Nicolas Cage podcast.
Yes,
just there were discussions. It could be our spin-off. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be
a limited series, just 10 episodes.
Yeah, no, I like that.
I don't know. We could break it down into chapters. We could do that.
Do you know? And I know for a fact Nicolas Cage would love that.
Those are all the stories I have, though.
Aww.
That's what all the audience goes. Aww, all the listeners.
I was just gonna say you have to have a soundbite when you say that. Those are the stories that has.
But we'll be back next week with our favorite Christmas movies, Justin.
Yes.
You'll choose 5 and I'll choose 5, I guess. So we'll have 10 our 10 best Christmas movies for the week of Christmas, which is next week. Holy cow. That's sneaking up. That's very close.
Not a big fan of that.
Do you have a tease about one of your best Christmas movies off the top of your head? Because I haven't asked you to make a list yet, but off the top of your head.
Yes, I already have one, and it's a Santa falling off the roof.
Is it a classic? Is it the Santa Claus 2?
I wouldn't say so. No, definitely not 2. It's the first one.
Okay. Yeah, one of mine is Jingle All the Way, of course. So you're going to hear me plead my case next week about Jingle All the Way.
Dude, no, really quick, Elijah. That movie's been playing at work so many times.
It's a season.
So I've watched it. I've watched it already too many times.
I love it. So yeah, join us next week when we talk about Christmas movies. That'll be fun. Bring your festive hats and your festive sweaters, maybe a candy cane. And we'll see you guys next week. Whoa, let's not get carried away. Some of us have to go to the dentist after. That's true. Cool. Yeah, this was a good episode, I think. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. Sad breakups, musicals, more dancing, lots of dancing. This episode is brought to you by dancing. All right. Cool. Well, thanks for coming in again, Justin. I always enjoy a good chat. We will of course. Yeah, I guess I'll see everyone next week. I don't know how to end these episodes ever. There's no proper sign off. The episodes just stop. Yeah. We don't need to say bye.
Just be like, hey, thanks.